So, you call yourself the sheriff of Cochise County?
I am the sheriff.
Good. The rascal admits it. And what do you say, sir, to the charge that you turned loose 2 Clanton horse thieves?
I don't have to say anything. You have no authority to try me. You may have been a captain in the Navy, but you're just a rancher now. A private citizen like anyone else.
Make note of that, men. The prisoner is belligerent. He shows no sign of being sorry for being the crooked little swab he is. I charge you with malfeasance in office. The jury will vote. Mr. Foreman?
Aye, sir.
How does the jury vote?
Guilty, sir.
I should hang you. But every time we have to hang a man, my wife objects. So, I sentence you to 5 years in jail.
You just try it. I'll be out on a writ of habeas corpus in an hour.
Not out of my jail, you won't.
Your jail?
I run the tidiest little brig in Arizona territory. The sentence is 5 years, Ben. Lock him up.
You can't do this. It's illegal. I'll have you arrested. I'll sue you. I'm a personal friend of Governor Fremont. You can't do this.
Captain David Rowland, retired Navy officer, was famous in Arizona territory. Living in the midst of Apaches and rustlers, the captain had a private army of tough gunfighters. He dispensed his own justice and he operated his own jail. Unfortunately, Marshal Wyatt Earp was obliged to investigate this private empire when Sheriff Johnny Bean fell afoul of Captain Rowland.
Just on my way up to see you, Mr. Clanton.
Thought I told you to see me yesterday. When I send work to you, Bean, I ain't fooling around.
I'm sorry, sir. What's the trouble?
Oh, that fella, Captain. David Rowland, he grabbed 2 of my boys. Said there's horse thieves. He's got them in that jail he runs on his ranch.
Well, he can't do that.
Well, he done it.
According
and don't make law talk to me. I want my boys turned loose.
I'll go up there right away.
Oh, now, Bean. Rowland spreads northeast, not west.
Well, I can't go up against Roland single-handed. I'll need a big posse.
Well, you better start raising dust right quick, you hear me?
I'll take care of it. Here's a telegram from Chief U.S. Marshal Crowley Dake. You'll see it instructs you to help me investigate conditions at Captain Rowland's ranch. We're supposed to have law and order in Cochise County. One cattle rancher can't take law enforcement into his own hands.
Well, Johnny.
I know the captain. And if he said the Clantons were stealing horses, they were stealing horses. You get your own posse, Bean.
We ain't riding with you.
This is Wyatt's job, and I demand...
You demand? Why, you two-bit rotten
Gentlemen. Take it easy, Doc. I'll look into this, Johnny. Meanwhile, you just go on collecting taxes.
My office must be represented in any action taken. I'm the sheriff. I have county jurisdiction. You can be in charge, but I must go along.
Clanton order you to do this, Johnny?
I don't take orders from him or anyone else.
You're a liar.
And a bushwhack.
Hold it. All right, Sheriff, you can go along.
Thank you, Wyatt. I'll get the posse.
Posse? Rowland has fought off 100 men and dozens of Apache raids. You don't ride onto his spread unless he says so.
I think Doc's right. Just the 4 of us.
This is impudent nonsense.
Really? Then go right ahead, Johnny.
Howdy.
Howdy. I'm Marshal Wyatt Earp from Tombstone. These are my deputies. He's Sheriff Bean.
I guess they're Johnny Laws, all right. Does the captain know you?
He'll know me. I'm Dr. John H. Holliday.
You ride ahead and ask the boss. You all follow me at a walk. On account of the boss don't like dust.
The captain will see Marshal Earp and Dr. Holliday. You two wait here.
Lovely home.
Mm-hmm. Quiet. You better stand till he tells you to sit down.
Might get riled, huh?
He was chief of staff. Good old Navy.
At ease, Doc.
Hello, Captain. How are you?
Hi.
I'd like to present Marshal Earp.
Very happy to know you, sir.
I've heard about you, Marshal. Sit down, sit down. Manuel, refreshment. Now then, tell me, what can I do for you?
Well, the legal point is, Captain, that horse thieves should be tried in a duly constituted court of law. That's the complaint against you by Sheriff Bean.
Bean. Sheriff Bean's a scoundrel. Hand in glove with old man Clanton. Here.
Well, now, that may be, but the Chief U.S. Marshal's office has ordered me to investigate.
Nothing to investigate, young man. I caught 2 Clanton's men on horses with my brand on them, and I threw them in jail. I could have hanged them.
Captain, you are not a judge. You have no right to operate a jail.
Blast it all, Doc, I don't... Since when did you start wearing a star? The last time I saw you, we were in that wild poker game over at Amarillo.
I've fallen on virtuous days.
This is not Tombstone, Marshal. I am the law here because there is no other law. I don't see any point in arguing. The discussion is closed.
What discussion, David?
Well, it has nothing to do with you, my dear.
You know how I dislike those rough Navy tones of yours, my dear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I suppose I must introduce Marshal Earp and Doc Holliday.
Of course. How do you do?
How do you do, ma'am?
Wyatt Earp?
Yes, ma'am.
Why, you're the famous marshal that's trying to clean up that dreadful Tombstone camp. A reliable young man, David.
He wants me to give him those 2 Clanton horse thieves.
Well, give them to him in good riddance. Costs a fortune to run that brig, as my captain calls it.
Well, the captain shouldn't have to feed prisoners.
She feeds them. Good cowhand rations. I'd give them bread and water.
Will you gentlemen excuse us? This is a command decision, and I want to state my case.
Of course, ma'am. We'll wait outside.
Marshal Earp, I want your word that these 2 men will be held in Tombstone jail until they can be tried.
You have it, sir.
Captain Rowland, I'm Sheriff Bean.
Get off my property!
Where's Earp? Out on patrol, he said. Holliday and Gibbs, they around? Doc's in a faro game over at the Alhambra. Gibbs is putting his mule to bed. Good. Here's writs of habeas corpus for the 2 Clanton men. Get them out. But Sheriff, Earp ain't gonna like this. I don't care what Earp likes. You can't refuse to honor a court writ, can you? I guess I can't.
Hurry it up. There are 2 horses at the rack outside. Take them and get lost. And stay lost.
Turn those Clantons loose?
Yes, I did.
Dirty little dumb.
Take your hands up!
you a good pistol whip and I'll straighten you out.
Whoa, whoa, boy. Get him when you ain't so mad. You might kill the little weasel feeling like you do.
You turn those Clanton hoodlums loose.
You done that? When you... Get on out of here before I larrup you.
Yeah. We might as well have this out right now.
Me first. Go for that gun. No fight, Ben.
Wait a minute. Well, he'd cut you in two. Now, come on. Let's go for a walk and cool off.
All right, I'll leave. But I won't forget this, Herb.
What are you gonna do with a feller like Ben? He's too smart to fight, and if you just killed him, they'd hang you for it.
He knows that. He trades on it. You go find Doc. We'll try and track down those two horse thieves. Go on. You got a lame horse. They won't get much further.
I think I'll kill Ben.
Yeah, maybe you could make it look like an accident.
Now, stop that talk, both of you. Being isn't worth going to jail for, much less going to the gallows. Come on.
Hey, ain't that Captain Rowland?
Yep. If I know him, he probably left twice as many guns just outside town.
I wonder who he's after.
Not me, thank goodness.
Sheriff, you'd better slope out of here.
Why?
Captain Rowland. He's right outside the courthouse. And he's mad.
I'm not afraid of that loudmouth ruffian. You forget I happen to be sheriff of Cochise County. Now, see here.
Put him on.
Put him on. You must be crazy. What are you going to do?
I'm going to take you to jail. A good jail.
He was after Sheriff Behan.
Well, he got him.
So it's me.
Yeah, but just wait until the Clantons find out about this.
This time, let Rowland hang him.
Sorry, Doc, I got to take him back. After the captain's satisfied that we kept our word. You won't be able to release him again. Now they're my prisoners.
Captain will sure be glad to see you. He's been biting 10-penny nails.
Oh, then he knows they were released.
We got the word last night. He'll sure feel better when he sees you caught him. Let's shove off, huh?
Good work, my boy. You keep your promises, I see.
I tried to, sir.
Bosun, lock him up in the brig. They can keep Sheriff Behan company.
Behan? Here?
Yes, here. I tried him for malfeasance in office. Found him guilty. Gave him 5 years.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Well, I'm sorry, Captain, but...
This is no time for argument, Wyatt. Don't you want to see Johnny behind bars? We request permission to see the prisoner, sir.
Permission granted.
Hey, fellas, look at here.
Well, well. I didn't think I'd ever see the day. Huh, even Roscoe was laughing at it.
Wyatt, you get me out of here right away. This is monstrous, illegal, and he can't do it.
Well, now, I don't know, Johnny. You know, bars kind of become you. Fellas, don't you think he looks kind of good behind bars?
That's right, Wyatt. It's kind of ultimate justice.
That's enough horseplay. I'm an officer of the law. You tell that wild man that I'm to be released at once. At once!
Well, I don't have any influence over the captain, Johnny. Isn't that right, Doc?
That's right. I think we ought to leave him here, Wyatt.
Wyatt, you see this letter? It's to Governor Fremont. If he has to send the army to get me out of here, how will that make you look?
I'll see what I can do, Johnny. Come on.
Roland won't let him send that letter to Fremont.
Yeah. Let that fool cat do some sweating in there, Wyatt.
I wish I could.
He cannot.
Now, come on, Doc, think about it. The captain's got no right to throw anybody in his private jail, much less a county sheriff.
I don't think you're going to talk the captain out of it.
Well, I don't intend to. You and Shotgun keep him busy talking about the war. I intend to discuss this whole jail business with Mrs. Rowland. I don't like being any more than you do. But he could cause the captain serious trouble. Abducting and imprisoning an officer of the law. It's Rowland that could get 5 years. Yeah, give him the keys. So you see, Mrs. Rowland, the law down here is getting stronger. It's not necessary for your husband to fight his own battles.
But he's always had to, or else abandon this property to the rustlers and the Apaches. Goodness knows I'm willing for him to stop.
And the captain?
He's very angry with that wretched sheriff. You ought to talk to General Denby at Fort Huachuca. He and my husband are old friends from the war.
And the general can arbitrate?
Yes. I've done all I can. You see, dear trouble. David, what is it?
The Clantons, armed to the teeth. They're riding down Brush Valley. Come on, Marshal. We'll need every fighting man here, except Sheriff Bean and those horse thieves.
Just a minute, Captain.
McGregor! Call in the outpost. We'll concentrate at the gap. Action! Station!
They're fools to come through the valley. It's a trap.
Mrs. Rowland, the captain has a right to defend himself.
Papa, the boys don't think Roland will fall for it. You tell them to stop thinking. We'll keep him busy over here while our boys from Cottonwood Springs jump that ranch house from the other side.
Captain. Aye? How well do you know old man Clanton?
What are you driving at?
Clanton's not foolish enough to ride into an ambush like this. I think he'll make his main line of attack someplace else. Maybe your ranch house.
Nonsense. You ready, Bosun?
Ready, sir.
This far enough. Aye. Tell some of the boys to mosey into that clearing yonder, in front of that gap, and draw their fire.
Sure, Papa.
Now just show yourselves, boys. When you hear bullets whistling, turn and run. Steady. Ready. Hit the ground. Bring them two boys back here. I'll see what I can do for them.
Ceasefire. Blasted. That volley's wasted. Only got two of them.
Captain, I'm going back to your ranch house.
What for? The fighting's here.
I'm not so sure it is. If everything's all right back there, I'll be back here soon enough. Come on, we're going to make a run for our horses.
broke through the back way. We've got to warn the captain. Ring the bell.
Hold it, what? Hold it! That's the bell. Earp was right. Bosun, take charge here. Keep them cannons pinned.
Yes, sir.
You, come with me. All right, get on. Spread out. Keep your guns ready. We'll rest the gate. Then we'll go in and tear the whole place apart. Come on, come on.
Doc, watch the gate.
Marshal, if they shot the guards watching the back road, they're almost here.
I knew it.
Clanton outsmarted us. Doc, most of his men are sure to be coming that way.
Not coming. They're already here.
Get him inside.
Give me a hand.
Inside, boys. They must have got there, Ike. Let's keep them busy.
No, Mrs. Rowland.
I can shoot a gun.
No, you just reload for me. I don't want you hit. Go on.
Surround the house, boys. We'll get them out. Come on.
Hold your fire.
Take him out. Grab the gun.
My dear, are you all right?
Of course. I'm all right.
Sure glad to see you, Captain.
Where's Magruder?
He's inside, sir. He's badly hurt.
Come, darling, I'll show you. Come on.
Sit down, shotgun. I'll fix that iron.
That's my butt line you're wearing, isn't it?
I guess it is. If your name's Wyatt Earp.
Climb down, Sonny.
Now you climb down. I want a fair fight.
You want to fight me with my own gun, huh?
I'm not going to jail, mister. Climb down.
All right. Who are you?
The name's Clanton. Billy Clanton.
Oh. You're Emma Clanton's baby brother, huh?
That's close enough. Start for it, mister.
The youngest son away in Texas at school. Billy's sister Emma had high hopes that Billy would be different from the other Clantons. And Wyatt, when he was forced to remember about Billy, understood Emma's problem. Could the boy be saved from the life of an outlaw family as notorious as the Clantons?
Billy, am I glad to see you. Oh, well, I can't do that no more.
Good to see you, Papa. Hello, Em.
Hello, Billy. So school's out?
It is for me. Well, I'm living again.
Am I glad to have you home? Well, ain't you gonna act like a sister? You ain't seen him in almost 3 years.
Em's all right, Papa. Let's go inside. I can't wait to get out of these dude clothes.
Get over out.
Did you know he was quitting school?
No, I didn't. Well, he wrote the other boys. I reckon they sent him some money.
You promised Mama you'd keep him in school.
Yeah, I did.
Well, then send him back to San Antonio.
Well, there ain't no great hurry, Emma.
Yes, Papa, there is. Ike and Finn will have him riding with the outfit in no time.
They tell you that?
Nobody had to tell me. Papa, you don't need Billy here. You've got enough men, grown up and tough. Have you forgot how Mama always wanted Billy?
I ain't forgot. I ain't forgotten nothing about your ma. He'll go back to school.
Oh, thank you, Papa, thank you.
Well,
Here. Mama never meant Billy to be like us. He was her Billy boy, her pet.
Hey, what's this about me?
well, nothing, Billy. Nothing at all.
Those aren't your clothes.
I borrowed them from Ike and Finn. Say, you've turned into a real woman, sis. I thought you'd be married by this time.
Well, I ain't never found a man yet fitting to marry her.
That's not what we were talking about, Papa.
Not now, Emma. Billy, why don't you go out and say howdy to the rest of the boys?
Yes, sir. I was listening from the other room. You're just like Mama. Want to make a sissy dude out of me. It won't work, sis.
Ready? Go! Kid ain't bad, Finn.
Now make it go faster, Ike. Yep. It's loaded.
Set?
Why'd you learn to shoot so good? That was a military school the old man sent me to. He could shoot better than a sergeant. He didn't like it much either. Did you see Billy shoot, Em? I'll bet he's as good as Earp.
Dinner's ready. You better not keep Papa waiting.
Now, what's she so sore about? She wants me to be some college dude.
Well, we'll see. We'll show her what for.
We sure will. Billy, you're ready to ride with the men. Ease off, will you? She's got the old man on her side. No use riling him. Yet. We'll change his mind. But slow. Sir, may I be excused?
Well, where are you going, son?
I thought I'd ride in Tombstone, buy some new clothes.
Fine.
How about lending me one of your guns, Ike?
Sure, kid.
You won't need a gun. You see, Papa had started already.
I don't get it. What's starting already, Em?
Never mind, Billy. Just go on riding the Tombstone just the way you are.
But everybody packs a gun in Tombstone.
No! You hear me? Them's orders.
Yes, sir. Maybe you'd like to come along, Em, and hold my hand.
All right, I will.
Oh, cut it out, Emma. She don't mean to crowd your son. Just got a temper like the rest of us.
Still friends?
Yeah.
Fine. Buy you something pretty in town.
Good boy. Say, you know that's real thoughtful of you. There.
Thanks, Papa.
Us Clantons may have our differences, but we're a family, by Joe.
Afternoon, Mr. Spangenberg.
Oh, hello, Marshal.
Been having a little trouble with the bunt line. The projector doesn't seem to be working quite right.
Let me see. Marshal, hitting people on the head is not so good for guns.
Sometimes I have no choice.
Well, I'll have to remount the ejector housing and put in another spring, maybe.
How long will it take?
You in a hurry?
No, but I feel kind of naked without my bunt line special.
It's a fine weapon, Marshal. A fine weapon. Come back in an hour. It'll be ready then.
Thanks.
Wait. Here, take this one with you. It's not so good like the bunt line, but for 1 hour it'll do,
It's got wonderful action. You're a genius, sir.
Genius. You know, Marshal, if I could live up to the speed of my gun actions, I might make a good gunfighter, huh? But the good Lord knows best.
Yeah, he sure does. Enough gunfighters as there is. I'll be back at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. All right, Marshal.
So to fit the holster on.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir, young man. I think your sister's going to like this ring. An amethyst in a rose setting is just the thing for a young girl.
Never liked jewelry myself. Even when you steal it, the stuff's hard to sell.
What? Oh, yes. Very true. Here you are, young man.
Howdy, Wyatt. How about a cup of coffee, boy?
Thanks.
Mr. Spangenberg fix your bunt line?
No, he said take about an hour. I sure hope nothing goes wrong in that time.
Well, a gun's just a gun.
You think so, huh? What would happen if something went wrong with that greener shotgun of yours?
What do you mean something went wrong with it? What are you talking about?
What if it had a busted spring?
Don't say that. Don't say that. Quit fidgeting me, will you? This here gun and Roscoe's all I got in the world.
You know, it's a funny thing about handguns, Mr. Gibbs. They almost become a party. Like your fists. Without that bunt line, I feel like I'm one-handed. If a fight does start before I get my right hand back, why, you take over, huh?
You know, a gun shouldn't be that important. It ain't a man's nerve.
Oh, you're right. But I'll sure feel a mite easier 1 hour from now.
Will that be all, sir?
Yeah, I guess so.
You ever carry a gun? Thank you. We have some fine holsters.
No, my papa doesn't allow me to pack a .45. You see?
Oh, just a couple of drunks.
You want to fight? You get over where the sun in your lie. Big man.
Well, here comes Marshal Earp and Deputy Gibbs.
All right, break it up. It's all over.
Oh, Marshal, you hit me too hard.
Did it so hard. Marshal Earp and Mr. Gibbs are absolutely fearless.
With drunks, sure.
With sober men, too. I've known several marshals real well. They always said it takes more courage to hit a man over the head than to shoot him.
Earp looked pretty fast. I'll let you know about the holster.
Marshal, you didn't have to bump my head for that gun because we're just having fun, you know that.
That's all.
That's all.
Lock him up, Mr. Gibbs.
What are you going to lock us up?
See there, you didn't need that bunt line after all, did you?
I would have if they hadn't been drunk. It's a long hour.
Oh,
Lock
we're
him up.
just playing.
Yeah.
We're just having fun, Mr. Gibbs.
My friend. You tell it to each other. Step right in.
Come on, Jimmy, we'll tell it.
Old wolf gun's about wore out. You take it in on a new Sharps?
We see, Well, $10 is all I can give you on a trade-in.
That's good. Let me see 45.70.
45 cents? Here you are. Try the action. I'll see what the young man wants. What can I do for you, young man?
I'd like to buy a Colt .45.
What length barrel?
I'm not sure. Let me see a few.
Sure. Now, here, this is 4 3/4, 5, 7 inches, and that's all I have in the Colt line right now.
What's the price on this, Mr. Spangenberg?
Excuse me a minute, huh?
Sure.
Price, $24 with a trade-in.
I'd get me a new Colt handgun for $16.50.
But this is a rifle, my friend. I can be with you in a minute.
some other time, when you're not so busy.
Fresh young punk, I was here first. You better count your guns.
There's still 3 on the counter. Now, if you think the price is too much, I'll knock off $2.
Oh, that's better. $22.
Yeah. 22, 20. Huh.
You get my gun fixed?
Yeah, sure, Marshal. Just a minute, and I'll wipe some of the oil off. It's the new spring. They always weep oil just a little. No, it can't be.
What's the matter?
I put it on the table. I had a tag on the gun.
You let somebody take my gun?
Be patient, Marshal. I'll find it.
No, he won't. Young punk walked out of here not 2 or 3 minutes ago. Did you see him with it? Well, he was carrying a bundle of clothing or something, and he was looking at the handguns here on the counter. What did he look like? A kid about 20. Medium height, brown hair.
Blue eyes.
And he was wearing brand new clothing.
I'll pay for the gun, Marshal. $100, $200.
A lot of good that'll do now. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Spangenberg. It's not your fault. Will you help me tour the town? He shouldn't be too hard to catch. Sure, Marshal. Let's go.
He said he was buying the ring for his sister. He's the same fella you saw, all right. I'd never seen him in town before. I guess I should have asked him his name.
That's all right, Mr. Perkins. You say he went over to Brown's clothing store?
Yes, he went right across the street. Mr. Brown's in there now, I think.
Thanks. You didn't buy the holster, huh?
No, Marshal. He said his papa wouldn't let him carry a gun.
You mention any names?
Just yours. He was in here when you and Mr. Gibbs collared those 2 drunks.
Did he know me?
No, he was a stranger in town. We argued about how much courage it took to buffalo a man.
Go on.
Well, he was kind of high and mighty. He said you were pretty fast with a gun. Pretty fast.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Brown.
Why, you're fidgeting too much about that bund line.
Colt only made 6 of them. I'll probably have to buy out the whole Colt factory in order to get him to make me another one.
Hey, you can send a telegraph to Mr. Ned Bundline. I'll bet you he'd have you one out here in a hurry.
It'll take a month or 2 months. The thing we know about that thieving scamp is that he's got a sister and a father.
And his daddy won't let him carry a gun.
It gives me an idea. Let's go talk to Mr. Fly, the photographer.
Billy? Oh, thank goodness you're home.
Why not? You scared I'd fall off my horse?
No, I was just worried.
I'm a big boy now. Here, catch.
Oh, for me?
Nobody else.
Oh.
Look different, don't I?
Yeah, you sure do. What is this, anyway?
Well, just wait till you open it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Ought to be. It cost enough. Try it on. Yeah, real pretty, Em.
That's just like the ring Mama had. You must have remembered.
I remember her crying when she lost it.
Yeah, Mama's ring was stolen.
That's right. Some hotel maid, wasn't it?
She never got it back. Billy.
What?
Please... Please don't try to talk Pop into letting you stay here. Mama would have wanted you to go back to school and then on to college.
Don't worry about me, sis. I gotta give Ike and Finn back their clothes.
Oh, I'll take care of it.
No, I'll take it. Bought me a pistol. Second hand. Real fine gun.
You didn't buy that gun.
Who says I didn't?
That's the long-barreled gun Marshal Earp always carries.
Well, what do you know? I got the big man's pet gun.
How'd you get it?
Well, if you have to know, I just swiped it from a gun shop.
Oh, you just swiped it.
Don't act so holy. You know how us Clantons are.
The rest of us, Billy, but not you. All right, give me the gun. I'll take it back to Marshal Earp.
No. If he ever finds out where this is, let him come after it. And you keep your mouth shut.
Billy!
No. This is just a boy. The young fellow who stole your gun was older.
Only 3 years older. Yeah, take a look at this one.
Old man Clanton.
That's right. That's his youngest son, Billy.
Oh, yes. I'm sure of it now, Marshal. This is the same fellow who took your gun. How did you get onto him?
Just a lucky guess. He had big plans for Billy. Something must have gone wrong. Thank you, sir.
I think I know Marshal Earp well enough that if I take the gun back and explain it was Billy's first mistake, he won't do anything about it.
No. You keep out of it, sis. My job. I'm the boss of this outfit.
Well, you keep Billy out of it, Papa. There's still a chance for him.
Hush up, Emma. I'm studying this. Billy? Billy! Come in here.
Yes, Papa?
You take Earp's gun?
Yeah.
Well, you made the wrong move. No, it ain't that we got any use for Earp. Boys tried to back him down a couple of times, and one of these days we're gonna kill him in a real shootout.
So what's this about?
Well, I'll tell you what it's about. A Clanton don't sneak into a gun shop and steal a man's own personal weapon. That ain't allowed.
I think it's a big to-do about nothing.
You trying to think for me?
Well, no, sir.
That's better. Now you climb on your horse and take that gun back to Spangenberg's right this minute.
Hey, what's that for?
To wrap up the gun. You don't want to be caught on the trail wearing that gun.
I'm not scared of Earp.
Oh, you're not. I suppose you're the big gunfighter. If you run into Mr. Earp on the trail, you'll gun him, huh? Oh, Mama should see her Billy boy now.
Your sister's right. Put them wrappings around that gun, keep it in your saddlebag, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
And if an Earp should be ornery enough to try arresting you, just send for Lawyer McKay. He'd bail you out right now.
Oh, I don't think Earp will arrest me, Papa. All I did was borrow his gun for a few hours.
You sure you don't want me and Roscoe to ride on out there with you?
No, Mr. Gibbs. I doubt if Mr. Clanton will approve of what little Billy did. I'll be back before sundown.
That holster got an open end so it'll fit the butt line?
Sure has. Now listen, you keep that out of sight till you get on the trail, you hear?
I got a surprise for her. I might turn out famous.
Mike, you think Billy ought to try it? Why not? He might get lucky.
My buntline you're wearing, isn't it?
I guess it is. If your name's Wyatt Earp. What do you aim to do about it?
Arrest you? Petty theft. Now get off your horse.
Sure. I'll get down. Now you climb down.
All right.
That's close enough. I'm not going to jail.
Did you kill him?
No, I just hit him with my fist. He tried to shoot me with my own gun.
Do you have to arrest him?
No, I don't exactly have to, Miss Emma. But I should.
You're too big for me to fight with fists. Give me one of your guns and I'll fight you.
Well, that'd be kind of foolish, wouldn't it?
Give me your gun.
Go ahead, give him one. Let him find out what a bullet feels like.
He didn't learn very much at school, did he? You're the one the old man should have sent to school, Miss Emma. I'm afraid it was kind of wasted on Billy.
Please don't arrest him.
All right. You did your best. Too bad.
And I thought you were a Clanton.
Your father had seen that, he'd kill you. If I ever see it again, I'm gonna forget you're not a man.
I'm sorry for you, Miss Emma. And for your father.
Wells Fargo had 2 undercover agents in Cochise County. One was J.B. Ayers, who operated a roadhouse and outlaw hangout in Charleston. Marshal Earp had the conviction that the law must protect secret agents from exposure at all costs, and sometimes found himself tangling with trouble that might cost several lives, including his own.
Run down! Done enough damage.
You shouldn't have let him get away.
2 men wounded, Mr. Thacker. Isn't that enough for you?
Why, I don't like ambushes nohow.
That hoodlum will go straight to old man Clanton.
You got a horse, you go after him.
We should all go after him.
And get bushwhacked by Clanton? Didn't the Wells Fargo people ever give you an intelligence test before they hired you?
Oh, button up, Doc. Give me a bandana. We saved a mail and silver shipment. Old man Clanton will know there's a tip-off, even if that man doesn't make it back.
Well, the main thing is that old Clanton won't know whereabouts the tip come from.
I'm not so sure about that.
Tango! Look out, this is my shoulder.
Well, it must have been a tip-off, Mr. Clinton. Earp and his men was laying for us right where we stopped that stage.
2 good boys gone. Give Dongo a drink. Who you reckon tipped him?
I don't know. But some of the boys was sure having a lot of fun last night over to Ayers Roadhouse.
Ayers? You reckon it was him?
Couldn't been him, Papa. He gets half his trade from us.
He probably wouldn't have had the nerve.
Maybe not. I ain't saying it is or it ain't him. All I know is we gotta find out for sure. There's a silver shipping for Benson tomorrow. I want you and Finn to get Ayers all to himself. Kind of hint to him we're going to knock off that shipment, and you, Finn.
Yes, sir.
Let Ike do the talking. He's the blabbermouth this outfit. Ayers might get suspicious with you to say anything.
We'll nail him, Papa.
You just prove he sold us out. I'll do the nailing personally.
Well, I sure was sorry to hear about the boys' bad luck. Wells Fargo must have had a tip-off, huh?
That's exactly what Papa thinks. Any idea who?
No, I haven't. But to tell the truth, some of the boys were talking a little too much the other night, and I'm afraid that anybody could have heard them.
Well, we'll even up.
Sure. But not too soon, I hope.
Why not?
Well, I don't want to tell your old man how to run his business, but I think he ought to stay off the Benson Trail until he finds that undercover man.
Mr. Ayers, drink.
Thanks, Finn.
Papa seems to think it'd be smart maybe to hit him again quick. Like that silver shipment tomorrow.
Too risky.
They couldn't set up another bushwhack deal that fast.
Well, I ain't gonna argue with your papa, boys. Wouldn't do no good nohow.
Maybe we'll hit that silver wagon, and maybe not. Papa's got it in his head you know something about the tip-off.
Look, Ike, like I told you, them boys talked too loud and too long the other night. Now, I serve all kind of people in here. Well, even some saddle tramp could have blabbered his mouth off to Wells Fargo for the reward.
It could have happened that way.
Sure. So, for what it's worth, you advise the old man to stay off the Benson Trail until it cools off, huh?
Why are you so interested? Yeah, why?
Well, after all, I lost good customers today. Besides, what would happen to my business here if word got out that there was a Wells Fargo spy operating out of the place? The biggest favor your old man can do me is to find out who tipped off Wells Fargo.
We'll find him, Ayers. And mind you, talk about that silver wagon just amongst us three.
Sure.
Papa might change his mind.
Well, I sure hope he does. After all, you Clantons are my best friends.
Ayers sent a note. Clanton suspects him.
Well, I told you he would. And you can't help Ayers now.
Mr. Thacker, let Clanton take that silver wagon tomorrow.
I can't do that. That's $10,000.
A man's life is worth more than $10,000.
Well, of course it is, but, well, there isn't time to explain it to San Francisco, and they didn't want to hire undercover men in the first place.
Look how much money they've saved your company. How many times have they risked their lives?
Look, we're moving that bullion by the Lizard's Tooth cutoff. Now, Ayers doesn't know that we've changed our route, and I'm sure Clanton doesn't. Now, this won't get Ayers in any trouble.
But they already suspect him.
Well, I'll pay a personal visit to Clanton. I'll tell him that Ayers is a tavern owner, nothing more.
Oh, sure. Look, he's a brave and valuable man to both of us. I'm going to try and save him if I can.
I hope you do.
Marshal Earp, open up. Step back. I'm going to have to arrest you to make this look good. Here, put these on. Lift him, all of you. I've known for a long time that you work hand in glove with the Clantons.
I ain't with nobody. You get the wrong man.
You do too much business with these hoodlums.
I do business to make a living. I ain't their keeper.
That's too bad. Move out. Move out!
Open the door.
Get away from that window. Sit down.
Old man Clanton ain't sure yet, Wyatt. But he's getting close to me.
Can't Thacker help you?
Well, it's like I was just writing to my wife. It's too late. Besides, where would I go? No place that old man Clanton wouldn't follow me. As long as he's sure I'm the tip-off man.
Well, it's a hard thing to say, but you're probably right. Look, there's a silver wagon leaving the Charleston Mill tomorrow morning. It's taking the Lizard's Tooth Canyon Trail.
Clanton wouldn't expect that route.
Not unless you ride down there and tell him.
What? You must be joking.
I need you, Mr. Ayers. A good undercover man is worth 100 times what Clanton will get in that shipment.
But I couldn't double-cross Wells Fargo.
You might have to in order to save your own life. Besides, this might put you on the inside with Clanton. We still don't know where he peddles that silver.
Well, he cuts it up and fences it.
Where?
I don't know.
Well, you've got to prove to Clanton that you're not a spy for Wells Fargo. So you ride down there and tell Clanton about the wagon. You say that you overheard Thacker and me arguing about it when you were in your cell.
It may work, but Wells Fargo's liable to be awful sore about it.
So you let him this time. Come on.
Wyatt. I just hope I'm doing the right thing.
Mr. Ayers, I've worked for Wells Fargo now off and on for many years. I'll take the responsibility. The one thing I don't want is you getting killed. Now, you just keep your mouth shut and let Wells Fargo jump on me. When they finally understand, they won't jump too hard. I'm going to put you in a cell for a few hours and then let you go. Come on, I'll take the handcuffs off.
What are you doing here? I gotta talk to your father.
Well, talk. He's on the porch.
You're up early.
Wyatt Earp arrested me last night. He and Thacker of Wells Fargo figure I'm a mite too friendly with your boys.
What makes him think so?
Well, just barfly talk, Mr. Clanton. But Earp heard about Finn and Ike and me being in the back room after supper.
There's too much talk out of your place, Ayers.
But it ain't coming from me, and I can prove it to you.
He's gonna prove he ain't a tip-off, boys.
How you gonna do that, Ayers?
Well, last night when I was laying in my cell, I overheard Thacker and Earp talking about a silver wagon. Thacker's sending that wagon right by the cutoff at Lizard's Tooth. Earp called him a fool. Earp wanted to have it sent by the regular trail that goes to Benson with a posse. Just as soon as Earp let me loose, why, I grabbed my horse and ran down here just to tell you about it.
All right. Take him.
What's the idea?
We'll find out whether you're telling the truth or not. It won't take long. Meantime, you stay in the bunkhouse under guard.
But I'm your friend, Mr. Clanton.
Maybe. Maybe not. Lock him up. Tell Shoulder to watch him.
Yeah, they're pretty heavy. One more. Oh, we got two more load again. Wait a minute.
Wait.
The other way.
Get out.
All right, now head back to Charleston.
Don't turn around.
Here.
Guess we were wrong about Ayers, Papa.
Mm-hmm. Always thought he'd make a good man for us.
You know what? This business of being a spy takes considerable courage.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, I'll say it does. You know, it'd fidget me plumb sick, not ever knowing from day to day whether I was going to get found out.
I should think it would. Risking your life guarding somebody else's gold and silver, not even daring to show a gun in your hand. Say, Wyatt, when an undercover man is killed, does the company pay for the funeral?
Secretly, yes.
Well, that's some consolation. Would they bury Roscoe?
Ask Mr. Thacker about that.
Howdy, Thacker. We were just talking about you.
Wyatt, old man Clanton robbed that ore shipment through Lizard's Tooth Canyon.
Anybody hurt?
No, but that's not the point.
You and I were the only ones supposed to know about it.
Yes, and I didn't tell the Clantons.
I know that. I did.
You tipped them. You did.
That's right. Not directly. I told your undercover man to pass the word. Old man Clanton was getting too close to him.
Excellent strategy.
Probably saved that poor feller's life.
How on earth am I going to explain this to San Francisco? Now, you tell me, Wyatt. How am I going to report that a United States Marshal leaked the information?
I'll write him a letter. Wells Fargo made a good investment.
Investment?
That's right. Your man just might find out where Clanton fences that silver.
Oh, he might. Where?
Now, Thacker, where's your sporting blood?
Don't go getting tough with Wyatt.
You keep out of this.
Would Wells Fargo bury my mule Roscoe if he is to get killed on one of these here secret deals? Now I'm putting it to you plain, would they?
No, they wouldn't! Well, I better cool off before I talk any more about this. But you're in serious trouble, Wyatt. Serious trouble.
Where's Ayers now?
I hope he joined up with the Clantons.
What if he didn't fool them people?
And we'll find out, and find out fast. We'll head for Charleston first.
How about Thacker?
I think he'll stall for a day or two. This isn't the kind of a deal you can put in a coded telegram.
What's the matter? You got the silver, didn't you?
Papa ain't satisfied.
And we ain't either.
All that you told us was true enough, but Earp could be using you for a spy just the same.
He arrested me last night, and I can prove it to you.
We already checked on that, Ayers. But you ain't done nothing to hang your britches in the sling.
How do you mean? What do you want me to do?
I'm studying that right now.
It's silver, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. We chisel up them big ingots from the mill, smelt down the chunks to make it look like small miners purified them out in camp kettles. Know anybody be a good steady market?
I could pass some for you. I'm always buying liquor and supplies, Mr. Clanton.
How much could you take?
$500 a month.
Chicken feed. I got 30,000 in silver hid out right now.
Well, maybe I could find a bigger buyer for you.
But no taking it across the border. People always getting caught that border. All right, I'll take a chance on you for 500.
Oh, I don't think I've got that much on me right now.
You can get it.
Yes, sir.
Holiday and Gibbs.
Why didn't they stop Ayers?
Maybe because he's in cahoots with them, and not us.
He shook us off. He must be being followed.
We better tell Papa.
Look up there. Ike and Finn Clanton. I made a fool mistake.
How's that?
In order to make it look good, I should have stopped Ayers and searched him. Old man Clanton will be wondering why I didn't.
Can we do something to fix it?
We can ride into Charleston and arrest Ayers again.
That's not enough to fool Clanton now, Wyatt.
No, you're right. It'll take more than that. I'll tell you what. I got something that might work. Look, when I go into the roadhouse...
Get in there. Move over there. We blundered on the trail. Ike and Finn were watching.
It was my fault, Wyatt. I didn't think I could stand a search. Here's part of the old man's haul. He's got a cache of it somewhere. I had to promise to fence it for him.
Yeah, there's only one way to get you in the clear with Clanton. In order to prove that we're not in cahoots, you're going to have to shoot me.
Shoot you?
That's right. Now, when I take you outside, as we come off the steps, you hit me in the stomach. Take my gun, shoot me. I've got it loaded with blanks. I've got it fixed with Holiday and Gibbs to make it look real.
But why?
Look. It's the only thing we can do. Now, let's go. Goodbye.
Go on. Get out of my way! You got her. Get back there, you murdering scum. Get back!
Is he, Doc? Is he hit bad?
Pretty bad, Gibbs. We'll have to take that wagon and get him to the hospital.
Any of you know who done this? Well, we'll find out.
You're wasting time, Gibbs. The idea is to get that wagon and we'll take him to the hospital. We'll get the one who did it later.
Get back inside there. Hold on.
Can you handle him?
Yeah.
Mr. Clanton! Mr. Clanton! Ayers shot Earp, Mr. Clanton.
Kill him?
Earp wasn't dead when Holiday and Gibbs started for the hospital, but he was hit real bad.
I told you Ayers was all right. Go find me Ed and Charlie Monroe. I want to see him quick.
What for?
Well, if he didn't kill Earp, we got to finish the job. Can't let him get well and arrest Ayers for this. No, sir. Ayers a good man. We got to help him, boys.
Look, Papa, let Ike and I go into town. We'll do it.
Hush up. I don't want no Clantons in this. Ed and Charlie Monroe ain't known in Tombstone. Ain't even known they work for me.
Papa.
Go find them.
Hey, Doc. Relax, will you? Nobody's going to come for me tonight. Why don't you go to bed and get some rest?
I know Clanton. He'll want to make sure you're dead. And tonight.
I got this, haven't I?
Yeah, but you don't shoot to kill. A brain shot is the treatment of choice in a corner like this. You ask Dr. Goodfellow. He'll tell you the same.
Dr. Goodfellow won't like anything I do.
I guess he wouldn't. You don't like the idea of you taking up a bed with a make-believe wound.
Nothing's gonna happen. You take a nap.
There's the hospital tent.
Well, let's go.
No, we're not going to go in the front door and have some nurse yelling her head off. We'll mosey around first.
That's Earp.
He's a big man. Dark hair. Clanton said we might have to make a guess at it.
I think it's Earp.
Two men dead.
That sums it up admirably and succinctly. How long do you have to stay in here, Deacon?
Doctor says 1 week in order to make this look real.
All this to save an undercover man for Wells Fargo.
And what would you have done?
Save him, naturally. Night, sir.
Add closer to the point of killing as the only way to preserve his own life.
Come in. What, Emma Clanton?
I have to talk to some woman, Miss Nellie. Could I talk to you?
Well, of course, Emma. Come on over here and sit down.
Papa wants me to marry Gringo Hockby.
Hockby, the rustler? He owns that big spread along the Mexican border, doesn't he? Why would your father pick him?
Well, they're partners in some things.
Oh. And you don't like Hockby?
I despise it.
Well, have you told him that, or your father?
I told Papa. He just said I was being too choosy.
What about Hockby?
Well, we haven't had a showdown yet. I'm afraid of causing trouble between him and Papa. Papa likes you, Miss Nellie. I thought maybe you'd talk to him.
I don't know, Emma. I don't want to cause any more trouble.
He really respects you. He'd listen to you.
Well, all right. If you think I can help, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Miss Nellie. Thank you very much.
So I promised her that I'd have a talk with her father. But first, Wyatt, I want to get some advice from you. Now, the Clantons are pretty violent people. Would I just be making things worse for her?
I don't know, Miss Nellie.
Emma and I aren't exactly what you'd call bosom friends. As a matter of fact, you get along with her better than I do.
Well, I've always sympathized with Miss Emma. She's the closest thing to a conscience in that whole family. At least she's tried to keep old man Clanton and the boys halfway in line. But this is a family row. Clanton's bound to resent any advice from me, whereas he might take it from you.
I guess you're right, Wyatt. I can't wash my hands of it. Hockby is a criminal, and she shouldn't be forced into marrying him.
I don't think it would do any harm for you to talk to Clanton. Besides, a pretty woman can say things that a man would get shot for. And I wish you luck.
Thank you, Wyatt. And I promise you won't get shot. I won't even mention your name.
Now, that'd blow the whole thing sky high. Now, you just go on out there and, well, say what you think you have to say, and then let it drop, huh?
I'll see you later.
Let them get closer. I don't want any prisoners or any wounded left to talk.
You're the boss.
Keep shooting.
Gringo?
Yeah?
Look here. Silver.
Yeah. Silver and pretty clothes. You sure picked the right wagon, boys. Don Jose must have ordered this from San Francisco.
That's mighty pretty, but, you think that'll fit Miss Emma?
Oh, no. She can put in some nips and tucks. Hey, keep your hands off in that silver. There's a present from me to old man Clanton.
Hello, Mr. Clanton.
Nellie Cashman, why, I feel right honored. You know, I wish I could feel 20 years younger.
You been ailing, Mr. Clanton?
Well, no, nothing particular, just age.
Oh, come on now. I was just thinking Em had better be here to chaperone us.
Oh, Miss Nellie. Em will be in from the corral pretty soon. Come right on in.
How you been?
Oh, well, not. You can't complain too much.
And Emma didn't have too much to say. She never does, you know. But I gathered what she has in mind is staying here with you instead of getting married.
Well, I ain't gonna live forever, Miss Nellie. Em has got to have a man to take care of her.
But she's not in love with Hawkby.
Love? Well, that gal won't give herself a chance. She holds that boy off with a 10-foot pole.
I realize it's a family matter, Mr. Clanton. I don't want to butt in. I only came out here because Emma seemed so upset.
No, I'll tell you something about it. You see, young Hawkby and I are, we're sort of mixed up together in business, you know. Now, this boy is real smart. He ain't afraid of nothing. While my Ike is a kind of a coward. And Finn, he don't think too sharp.
Well, you've still got Billy.
Yeah, he was my last hope. But he turned wild. He drinks too much. He's trigger happy. So if a man's own sons can't take over a big spread, well, he better be looking for himself a good son-in-law. Whoa up, Em. We got some talking to do.
Yes, sir.
Emma, your dad and I have been talking about you.
I asked Miss Nellie to talk to you.
I ain't forcing you to take young Hawkby. All I said to him was I'd feel easier in my mind.
I'd like to pick my own husband, Papa.
That sounds reasonable enough.
Oh, sure it does, yeah. And the only man should look twice, that's that John Law, that Wyatt Earp.
That's not fair. I don't even like Mr. Earp. The only time I've ever spoken to him was when Papa had some business for us to discuss.
Emma. All right, Miss Nellie, I put it to you straight.
Papa!
Hush up. You seen the two of them together. Is she sweet on him or ain't she?
Well, that's ridiculous. Emma's too loyal to you. Well, she couldn't like somebody you didn't even get along with.
Hmm? Well, how does that Earp feel?
Emma, has Wyatt ever so much as held your hand?
No.
Well, he's kissed me. But it didn't mean love. Mr. Clanton, as far as Emma's concerned, you've got nothing to fear from Wyatt.
By Jove, Miss Nellie. I'm mightily relieved to hear you say that. You know, this idea's been fidgeting me for quite a spell. Daughter, I reckon I've been pestering you about marrying just for that reason. All right, we'll forget about it.
Thank you, Papa.
You've done us a big favor coming out here. Why, you straightened the whole thing out for us.
Well, then I'm happy, too. For Emma's sake and for your own.
Why, Em was scared.
Well, of course she was. She didn't want any part of Gringo Hawkby.
Well, she won't have to marry him. You can bet your life on that. Well, Em's daughter and son to me.
Hide the wagon in the brush. We'll send a buckboard back here to haul the stuff to old man Clanton's.
Gringo, you really gonna marry Emma Clanton?
Sure. Emma ain't the prettiest gal in the territory, but she's got other assets.
Like the old man's spread, huh?
Just a waiting to be took over. Hurry it up, boys.
What?
don't you quit associating with good women?
Good women?
We warned you about Miss Nellie. It's the good women who lead men to ruin.
I shouldn't have let her go out to the Clantons. Old man probably got sore at her.
No, here she comes now.
What's the matter?
Wyatt is a mite worried about you, Miss Nellie.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Wyatt, everything went along fine.
You know, old man Clanton isn't going to be tough with Emma?
No, as a matter of fact, by the time I left, the old reprobate was practically in tears.
Nehemiah H. Clanton in tears?
Cross my heart.
The ragweed must have got him.
Oh, come on now, Doc. You don't have to be so cynical all the time. No, the trouble's all taken care of. I got to get back to the office. See you boys later.
Good work, Miss Nellie. Well, put your buggy away.
Why, I've met this gringo Hawkby. You better keep your guns loaded. There'll be trouble.
It's all fixed.
You heard Miss Nellie, didn't you, Doc?
It ain't fixed with Hawkby. In addition, one good woman is ruin. Two good women are certain death. Hawkby'll find out you're friendly with Emma.
Well, I am not friendly with Miss Emma.
It's what you think. She might have a different idea. She does hanker a little after you, Wyatt. Women came close to getting me hanged on 3 different occasions.
You know, a horse leads a nice, simple life.
Willie, unload the stuff and bring it into the house.
All righty.
How's this for a gal's trousseau?
Mighty handsome, Gringo.
Hey, what's keeping Emma? This is for her.
I don't know. I'll call her. Emma? Emma!
Yes, Papa.
Gringo's brought you a lot of presents. Now, you mind your manners and come on out here.
Just a minute.
That won't work with Emma, son.
Why not? They all like pretty clothes.
You can't buy her with pretties. I tried it myself. Billy and Finn and Ike, they all tried it. Just won't work.
But these are San Francisco clothes. You know where this one comes from. Paris, France.
Good evening, Mr. Hawkby.
Good evening, Miss Emma. I brought you some fancy clothes. Here, how'll this one fit?
It's a nice dress. If it weren't for the blood on it.
Blood? Where's the blood?
You bushwhacked 3 Mexicans in FEMA draw.
Who says I did?
One of Papa's cowboys saw the whole thing. It's all over the bunkhouse. They're all talking about it.
Now, Emma, he could have been mistaken.
That's a dirty lie. You tell me who said it. He'll take it back.
I'm not that interested. Good night, Mr. Hawkby.
You gonna let her act like that?
Son, I warned you before.
I don't take warnings. And women don't walk away from me.
You're a visitor in my house, you know.
I'm offering to marry your daughter, Emma.
I know that.
I've been your partner for 3 years now, and we've whacked up thousands every year.
I can count.
You know, I don't have to stay your partner. I can just as easy throw in with somebody else.
Well, Emma ain't no smashing beauty, son. Why are you taking this so hard?
When a gal walks out on me, that's the one I want.
And you'd bust up a good business arrangement over that.
Yeah, I think I will. Funny thing is, you need me worse than I need you.
That's your opinion.
That's any smart man's opinion. You ain't gonna live forever, you know. Who's gonna carry on your business? Ike, Finn, Billy? Nah, they wouldn't last 6 months.
No, reckon not.
Now, me and Emma could carry it on for you. Keep the name Clanton and Hawkby just like it's been. But no, you say Emma's too good for me.
I never said
But
no,
she
son.
said it.
Well, you didn't give her a decent chance to know you, son. You just rushed right at her.
I want something, I go after it. And so do you.
Sure I do. But I gotta consider Emma's feelings. Give me a few days, bring her around.
Not a few days, Mr. Clanton. One day. We'll find out whether you are the boss inside this house or whether you ain't.
see, it didn't work, Miss Nellie. He just switched Papa around to his side.
Doesn't your father have any loyalty at all?
I thought he did.
That must be Wyatt. Oh, Wyatt, come in. Emma's father has changed his mind. He's going to force Emma to marry Hockby. Now, she can't go back to the ranch. She'll have to stay here.
Oh, no, thank you, Miss Nellie. You've gone to enough trouble over me.
Now, you just sit right back down.
Well, I don't want anyone to get into any fight with Papa about me.
If he comes into town and tries to take you against your will, then it becomes Wyatt's job. Well, you don't expect her to stand up against her father by herself, do you? Or with a gun?
No. All right, I'll send Mr. Gibbs over. But I promise you both that by tomorrow morning, we're all going to be in real trouble. Good night.
I don't know why I play checkers with you, Gibbs. There's certainly no money in it, and your conversation is somewhat less than stimulating.
Yeah. Checkers keeps you away from Pharaoh when your luck's running bad. Hush up. I'm going to think. If I'm there, I can gobble you up. If I move over here, I can take only one of your men.
Mr. Gibbs, I'd like you to go spend the rest of the night over in the lobby of Miss Nellie's hotel. Emma Clanton ran away from home.
Well, I thought Miss Nellie had done fixed it about Hockby.
Now, old man Clanton changed his mind. Get over there on the double, will you?
Yes, sir. Don't forget, it's my move. I'll remember where them checkers was, too.
Is Gringo Hockby in town yet?
No, not yet.
I'll kill him for you, Wyatt.
No, thank you.
All right. You kill him yourself, then. He's already a menace to 2 women. Also, there's talk that he murdered 3 Mexicans yesterday. You know what? Old man Clanton's losing his grip. Hockby's trying to take over. The old man's letting him.
It would make it rougher on me.
Too rough, Wyatt. The old man at least exercised certain moderation. But Hockby?
Well, I won't be crowded.
And you better start thinning the crowd, Wyatt. One Clanton tomorrow, another in a few days. You'll be surprised. In 6 months, you won't even know Boot Hill.
Find her? She's at Nellie Cashman's hotel, guarded by one of Earp's deputies.
Wyatt Earp, eh? Now, how does he figure in this?
Go rest yourself, Willie. I knew it. She's been sweet on that Earp all this time.
Your daughter and a John Law? Well, now that's easy fixed. Dead man ain't no good to a woman.
Hey, Earp's awful fast, Gringo.
So am I.
Mighty early this morning, ain't you, friend?
I sure am. I'm looking for Miss Clanton.
Mm-hmm. What might your name be?
Gringo Hockby. Miss Clanton's papa wants her home.
We've been expecting one of you.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so. Wyatt Earp says you don't have to go. And he also says if you try to take her, you'll wish you had never been born.
You tell Earp I don't scare easy. He's mixing into my business. I don't take kindly to interference.
Doc, watch things here, will you? It's time I went on patrol.
Hockby's laying for you. I'll go with you.
No, thank you. I can handle him.
You'll kill him, huh? Otherwise, I must accompany you.
You stay out of this.
I'll give you first crack at him. That's all I promise.
First crack? Fair enough.
Seen anything of Wyatt Earp?
He's around, I guess.
Thanks, mister. I'll find him. Marshal Earp? I'm Gringo Hawkby. I got your message this morning.
And I got yours, Mr. Hawkby. What are you waiting for? Go on. Go for the other one.
You didn't kill him. It's my turn.
No. You wish he was dead.
Is he going to die?
No, he's not gonna die.
Well, I'm glad of that. I didn't want him killed.
You owe me a favor, Miss Emma. Well, don't you? And why don't you take a nice long trip someplace? Go to Texas and visit your relatives.
I can't do that. I have to stay here and take care of Papa.
Why, did you have to break both his legs? He may be crippled for life.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Nellie. Maybe I should have killed him.
Wyatt, I didn't mean that.
You stop blaming him. We both of us pushed him into this.
Thank you very much, Miss Emma. Now, you go on home and take real good care of your papa. Because when Gringo gets well and this starts all over again, it's your papa that's going to wind up with broken legs.
I heard that, Sonny. You better show more respect for him. Ain't no daughter of mine gonna marry Gringo Hawkby.
Papa.
Anybody can get himself killed, but it takes a plumb fool to let a Yankee target practice on him. Good day, Miss Nellie. Come on, sis. We gotta get back to the ring.
Thank you.
Well, come on. You didn't finish making out them minions for that cook before you left. I'll bet we have hash again.
Give me two.
1, 2 to you. 3. And 1, 2, 3 to you, and the dealer takes 2.
Bet 5.
Pardon me, Mr. Dance.
Yeah?
May I speak to you, please?
Well, go ahead, Grandpa. Talk.
I think perhaps you'd rather this would be private.
Why? Who are you?
My name is Wagoner. Perhaps you remember me?
20 to you, Kurt.
Yeah, the face looks kind of familiar.
It should be. Though it was over 20 years ago. San Angelo, remember?
What do you want? I got no business with you.
You did once.
That was done with long ago. You can't bring it up again.
Business like that is never finished. I want you to go back with me. Tell it.
There's nothing to tell.
You've got to do it sometime. Sooner or later.
No. You've got nothing on me, you hear? The law says so. Don't ever come near me again, or I'll...
What do you do, Dance?
Now, this is none of your business, Earp. I haven't laid a finger on him, and I won't if he leaves me alone. But I got a right to be left alone. Remember that. You, too.
It's got to be settled, Dance. One way or another.
Get him out of here!
Sir. Mr. Wagner, is it? Do you have a charge against this man?
None that you'd be interested in, Marshal.
He's not wanted for anything?
Not by the law.
Then what's it all about?
It's between Dance and myself.
Then perhaps you better leave him alone. I wouldn't want to have to arrest you for disturbing the peace.
I understand, Marshal.
He also has rights of privacy, and he can protect himself. I advise you, sir, to settle your differences by legal means.
If that had been possible, I wouldn't be here now.
Anything you want to tell me, Dance?
No, there's nothing to tell. He's just imagining. But you keep him away from me, or there'll be trouble.
You in, Dance? What are you so speckled at? The old man. Still staring.
Sure is. And if looks could kill.
How can he just sit there, hour after hour, and just stare? Don't he ever get enough?
No. But I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm going to fix you so you won't stare at me.
Evening, Wyatt.
Oh, howdy, John. Where you headed?
Home to bed.
Yeah, that's where I wish I were. Your paper all made up?
Yep. All the news and stories I can scratch up. That is, unless you're holding out on me.
Not a chance. Come on, have some coffee with me.
Oh, now, Wyatt. Coffee's no kind of a nightcap to offer a tired editor. You kind of
Hey, Wyatt!
What's the trouble?
That old man's been beat up pretty bad, Wyatt. We got him down to Miss Nellie's.
Looks like I get a story instead of coffee after all.
Where's Kurt Dance?
He's in a game over at Elhammer.
Well, you go get him. Bring him to Miss Nellie's.
Wyatt. That gentleman is Judge Wagner from San Angelo.
That's right, young man. You know me.
Yes, sir. You don't remember me, do you, Judge? John P. Clum?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't.
That's all right, sir. I was a young man then. Seems like a long time ago. I'll wait downstairs, Wyatt.
Miss Nellie, may I speak to you? You want to tell me about it now?
Nothing to tell. I just had a little misadventure.
With whom?
It was very dark. I couldn't be sure.
Judge Wagner, you expect me to believe that?
You can't prove differently. I know. I've heard that plea in court many times.
Won't you tell me?
Tell you what?
Why a judge, one of the most respected judges in the West for 30 years, should get mixed up with a notorious gunman, killer, thief? Why that man isn't dead or behind bars now, it's hard to understand.
I know.
Well, I want to know all you know about him.
You mean well, Marshal, but you'd only interfere. I'm not a judge any longer. I'm retired. But I have a job to do, and I've got to do it in my own way.
Everything peaceful?
It's early yet. Don't count your chickens. You know where there's liable to be some trouble, too, don't you?
Where?
That blamed old judge. He's an old fool, if you ask me. I ain't so sure Dance ain't right.
Why?
Well, the judge has gone and got himself a gun. And he's wearing it, too. Just a daring Dance. What'd you find out from that wire you sent to Texas?
He acquitted Dance of murder 20 years ago.
Well, don't seem like there'd be much connection there that long time ago.
Acquittal. Now, that's what's interesting. Now he wants to kill him. Why?
Don't ask me. You know this judge better than I do.
Only thing I know about him is he's got one of the best reputations in the West.
Wyatt?
What is it?
Trouble. Dance just left the Alhambra saloon. He's heading for a showdown with Judge Wagner.
Where?
The judge is waiting near Boot Hill.
Come on, we can catch Dance before he gets there. Hold it, Dance. This is where you stop.
Now listen, Earp. I didn't ask for this. He's made it so I can't refuse. Now he challenged me open, so I can't be blamed for killing him in a fair fight.
A fair fight? An old man who can hardly hold a gun?
That's not my fault. He shouldn't have challenged me.
Well, you're not going to fight him, fair or any other way. You're going to stay right here. Shotgun, you stick with him.
What are you going to do, Wyatt?
I'm going to find out exactly what the old man was planning to do. Maybe you better lend me your hat, Dance, for just a few minutes.
What for?
Because for a few minutes, I'm going to be you. Judge. Well?
What happened? There were no shots.
He fainted or worse. I can't tell. We'll get him over to Dr. Goodfellow. Look.
Empty.
He wanted Dance to kill him. How is he?
He's weak, but he's all right. It's just the tension and the excitement. He just fainted. He's an old man, Wyatt, and he's awfully tired. Come on in.
Judge Wagner.
Marshal, I told you you'd only interfere.
You still won't tell me what this is all about? Then I'll tell you. 20 years ago, you acquitted Dance of a murder charge. Now you pass sentence on him and say it should have been done a long time ago. That must mean that you found out you were wrong. Or
what?
Or you acquitted him knowing you were wrong.
Yes, you're right. It's even worse than that. I took money to acquit him.
You. Judge Wagner.
Yes. Amos Wagner. The man with the finest reputation for honesty and integrity in the West. A reputation any man could be proud of. You can imagine how I felt sometimes hearing those things said and reading them printed about me. I felt like a fraud, a miserable imposter.
And that was the only time in a lifetime as a judge that you did anything like that?
The only time. But I needed the money so badly. My wife and my child were sick. Dance knew that. But it didn't do them any good. I lost them both anyway. Now I'm old and alone. And I must right this one terrible wrong I've done.
But this isn't any way to do it. If you feel that you must redeem yourself, go on back to San Angelo and confess.
I already did that. Perhaps they didn't even believe me. They said that there's nothing they could do about it legally. Even if it were true, they didn't want to besmirch my reputation at this late hour.
Well, maybe they were right. One mistake in a lifetime of service.
It's not that simple. I set that man free to kill again. And he has many times. Those lives are on my conscience. And I won't rest easy until I've done what I can.
Until you've killed Dance?
Or seen him on his way to the gallows.
Well, you wouldn't have accomplished that tonight, Judge Wagner. He could prove that you openly challenged him. And how was he to know that you'd face him with an empty gun?
Yes, it's very difficult. A very difficult problem. I've tracked him this far, but now, I don't know what to do.
Well, a man like Dance is bound to wind up on the gallows eventually. Why don't you leave him to the law?
The other law here. What can you do about him?
Well, I admit it's a pretty sad situation, Wyatt, but what can you do about it?
Well, I think maybe I can put Dance behind bars and it helps some.
How? He's managed to keep himself out of trouble lately.
John, you told me he's been losing pretty steadily at poker.
Yeah. Yeah, that he has. And he's getting grumpier all the time.
And seedier.
Well, the money's got to come from someplace. He ought to be just about right for any kind of illegal deal.
Wyatt, you mean a trap?
Well, it isn't exactly ethical, but in this case it may be justified. You can just say we put temptation in Mr. Dance's way, and if he falls for the bait, well, that's too bad for him.
Well, at least it'd keep him out of the judge's reach for a while.
And a while is all we'll need.
That's right. I don't think that old man's gonna last too long.
All right, this is what we'll do. John, you like a good game of poker, don't you?
Oh, I do. Yes, sir. That man's a real fool. Now, you know he goes home every Saturday night, same time, and always with what's in the week still. That must be close to $500 or $600.
I'll bet 10.
He goes home all by himself and down the same dark street.
Yeah, and that Bruce Street's a real dark one, too.
Yes, it is that. Man's a fool, all right. Body could rob him anytime there's a mind to. 10, and, I just have to bump you 10 more.
Yeah, with no trouble either. Especially when he stops off at the bird cage for a snort before he starts home.
Well, he likes to celebrate the end of each week. Cards?
2.
2.
Then he don't even see so good. Or he wouldn't even have to worry about him recognizing you.
Dealer takes one, gentlemen. Well, of course, if it was the Clanton that was to do it, he'd make sure he didn't.
I'll bet 10. Yes, sir, that'd be real easy pickings.
Well, how come the Clantons don't do something about it?
Why, old man Clanton gave up that kind of thing when he was a rosy-cheeked boy. 10, and I'll just have to make that a little sweeter by another $20, gentlemen.
No, that's too rich for my blood.
See ya.
You see, old man Clanton, he likes to go for the big stuff like I do.
Shotgun.
Howdy, Miss Nellie. Wyatt just sent me over to check on old Judge and make sure he's in bed.
Where else would he be? He's sound asleep.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Shotgun, is something going on?
Well, I guess you could say so. You know, I wish that old Judge never come here, Miss Nellie.
Why, what's the matter?
Well, Wyatt's took on his troubles. Now he's gonna meet Dance. He just might get himself gunned.
How do you know? Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am, I'm sure. I even know when and where. Little after 9 down on Bruce Street in there first.
Why aren't you down there?
Well, I'm going. You know, Wyatt told me to keep my nose out of it, said I might gum things up.
Well, you get on down there right now.
Yes.
Don't pay any attention to Wyatt.
pants?
Who is it?
It's me, Judge Wagoner. And now I'm going to carry out this sentence.
No, no. You don't get me to fall for that. I saw the empty gun.
It's not empty this time.
I told you. You can't do a thing to me.
Can't I? Marshal, is he dead?
Yes, he's dead.
I'm glad I didn't let you interfere this time.
Judge, if only you'd waited a little.
My time was running out anyway.
But I would have gotten dance for you.
You might have been hurt. But this is the last.
The last what?
The last killing that Dance will ever commit. But this one won't be on my conscience.
How's Uncle Toomey?
Doc figures he's got a bad concussion. They clobbered him on the head.
Damn weasels.
They got away with all the horses and mules and consignment to Fort Huachuca.
Roscoe will find them.
Roscoe?
Yeah. One of them mules kicked Roscoe. Look here. He's a mine-working mule. Leastwise, he was wearing a cleat-toed shoe.
It's a pretty bad bruise.
Yeah. Say, reckon Doc Goodfeller would take a look at him?
I'll ask him.
In the opinion of Shotgun Gibbs, his mule Roscoe was smarter than all other mules and most human beings. Thus, when a consignment of Army remounts was stolen from a livery stable in Tombstone, Roscoe happened to be the only eyewitness. What could Roscoe do about it?
Wyatt.
Yes, sir?
Mr. Toomey should be all right. Let him rest on that cot, and don't pester him with a lot of questions.
Yes, sir. Roscoe's hurt.
Roscoe? That mule?
Yes, sir. Mr. Gibbs and I, well, we'd like you to take a look at him.
Well, he can't be hurt much. If a mule's really hurt, he lies down.
Just as a favor, would you look at him, sir?
I haven't had a decent night's sleep in a week. And now you want me to... Oh, all right.
Howdy, Doc.
Good. Well, no broken bones. Rub some arnica on him, Gibbs. Put some balsam of Peru on that cleat cut.
Well, can't you give him a little regular doctoring?
Oh, certainly. Take him to the hospital. Put him in bed. And I'll sit up the rest of the night with him.
He's a little short on sleep and a little short on temper. Well, we'll take Roscoe on over to the yard and back to jail and doctor myself.
Well, Roscoe don't take it kindly being made light of. You forget he's our only eyeball witness?
Yeah, that's right.
But what you don't remember is that the last time a mule done Roscoe a dirty trick, Roscoe caught up with that same mule 3 months later.
That's right, he did, in Dodge. Yeah. Roscoe's got a memory like an elephant.
Besides, what else you got to work with on this case besides Roscoe's memory and that there shoe print on his rump?
Nothing else. Not now, anyway.
Well, you ought to treat him with a little more respect, then.
Mr. Gibbs, if that mule helps us recover government property, I'll make him a deputy marshal.
Hey, you hear that, Roscoe? Feeling better, huh?
Don't tell me. Roscoe understood that.
Well, no, not the words, but it's the tone of your voice, Wyatt. Roscoe knows you're treating him like somebody important. You know, the mule, that's a heap better than a peck of apples or high-class doctoring.
Well, people value it the same way, Mr. Gibbs.
Bring him inside, Corporal.
Marshal Abe, we got your telegram at the fort last night. I caught one of the thieves. He has 2 mules he can't account for.
I bought the mule.
You have no bill of sale. The prisoner was headed north to a gypsy camp when Corporal Higgins and I stopped him.
Your name, sir?
Lieutenant Grange, Army Intelligence. My prisoner says he is Louis Vanek.
You have the mules outside?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gibbs, bring Roscoe around front. I'd like to have him take a look at those mules. After you, sir. Old shoes, no toe cleats.
Same here. What's that got to do with it, Marshal?
One of the stolen animals kicked Deputy Gibbs's mule, Roscoe. He was wearing a my mule's toe cleat.
All right, Roscoe, look him over. Well, what do you think? Lieutenant's got the wrong mules.
Are you sure that Roscoe would recognize all the stolen mules?
Well, of course he would.
I tell him I don't buy stolen animals.
That's enough. Marshal Abe, you can't be serious.
Of course, it's just a theory, Lieutenant.
Well, I'll bet you a whole month's pay that these here mules wasn't with the one that kicked Roscoe.
Marshal Abe, I want this man held as a suspect and his horses and mules impounded as evidence.
If those are your orders, Lieutenant.
Corporal Higgins and I haven't time to consult Roscoe, your detective in this case. Mount up. We must find the rest of the gang and recover the animals they stole.
Good luck, Lieutenant.
Your friend is right. A mule never forget a man who hurts him.
Say, he sounds like a real muley man, don't he, Roscoe? How about we turn him loose?
No, can't do that. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to hold you in jail until you make a tour of the traders' camps.
I'm gypsy. Will I be hanged? Stealing animals, bad charge.
You'll be booked on suspicion. Nobody will know what the charge is.
I thank you. Remember, you're my only friend.
Well, if you don't know mules, who does?
Howdy, Marshal. Looking for somebody? Howdy. Liveryman and Tombstone was hit over the head last night. Some Army horses and mules were stolen. Mr. Gibbs, have Roscoe take a look at those mules.
Ain't nothing here, Wyatt. What's the idea of taking this animal in so close to our mules? He might have a disease.
Mister, you want trouble?
Take it easy, Mr. Gibbs.
You lawmen are all alike. You think you can get by with anything. What's his rump doctored for?
He got kicked by another mule last night.
Yeah? Well, we'll see.
Hold it. Mr. Gibbs? Come on up. Roscoe inside there. I'll watch it out here.
Hey, Roscoe! Roscoe! What's the matter with you, boy? What's bothering you? Huh? What's bothering you? Back off. Back up. Back up. Whoa, whoa. Now stand steady, boy. Stand steady. Oh, you. Oh, boy. Oh, oh. Hey, what? Get in here, will you? Well, this here is one of them. Feel that toe cleat? Beat it.
Yeah. Well, Roscoe don't like him, huh?
No. Neither one of them's the mules that kicked him. But he remembers them from last night, all right.
Oh, I see. They were traveling in bad company, is that it?
Yep. We're on the trail now, boy.
Somebody coming. You cover me in here. I'll go around the side.
Right.
It's a strange horse.
Yeah.
Must be somebody in the barn. Let's take a look.
You in there, come out!
Drop him. Pick him up. Now, you just bought those mules from a fella, huh?
That's right. And his boys had a lot of horses and mules.
Which way were they headed?
They rode off towards Dicebox Canyon.
Skinner Malone's camp?
We don't know anything more. That's it.
Mr. Gibbs, bring Roscoe out here. Now, we'll come back for you after we paid a visit to Malone's. Let Roscoe take a good look at it.
Now, Roscoe, you dead certain you didn't see them fellers there last night? Take a look. Take a look. Didn't see him, huh? Nope. They wasn't in on it. If they had been, he'd have bit a hunk at them.
Maybe he's right. Let's pay a visit to Dicebox Canyon. You let me handle Malone. You and Roscoe take a look around and see if Roscoe can find anything.
You think Malone's apt to make a fight?
No, I don't think so. Does too much business with the Army. He'll want to clear himself.
They told me you were smarter than this, Herb. Looking for Army remounts that ain't even been branded.
Oh, we'll find him, Mr. Malone.
Not in my remuda. Why, I'd be a fool to cross Colonel Hibbert to the fort. Look around. I don't want you restless.
No luck at all, huh?
Maybe Roscoe's lost his memory.
Oh, it ain't that. There ain't no mules in that remuda. Roscoe don't pay much attention to horses.
Well, we better head back to Tombstone. Maybe Lieutenant Grange has already solved the case.
Whoa, now, boy. Whoa. Yes, sir. You got your mule, didn't you, Roscoe?
You sure that's the one?
I'll bet your shoes will prove it.
Yeah. Mine and shoe, cleated toe. I'll fit the scar on Roscoe.
Push up, Roscoe. Hey, Sheriff, mind your manners.
What's all this about, Herb?
Mr. Malone, you and your men are under arrest.
Arrest? Just because Roscoe don't like another mule?
Not just another mule. That mule kicked Roscoe last night. He's part of the string of army mules that was stolen.
Herb don't know what he's talking about, Skinner. And he ain't arresting me on account of no mule.
Mr. Malone, you want to resist arrest too?
No, not me. Hey, ain't no judge gonna hold me and my boys on what a mule thinks.
All right, Mr. Gibbs, we're taking this whole remuda back to Tombstone.
Yes, sir.
Pick him up.
Cut that out! Stop that! Try that again, and I'll kick your ribs in. I ain't gonna stand for no more lawlessness. You just behave yourself. Come on up here. Nita, come on.
Good work. How'd you find them?
I didn't. Roscoe found him.
No time for jokes. Unc Toomey is conscious now. He could stand a little questioning.
That's fine. Ask him if he can give a description of the Army animals that were stolen, will you?
Now, that makes sense.
Thanks.
Roscoe found them.
Marshal Earp, is this supposed to be a joke?
No, sir. No, Roscoe recognized the mule that kicked him during the robbery, and on the strength of that evidence, I arrested Skinner Malone, his men, and seized their remuda.
The court would like a demonstration of Roscoe's extraordinary powers.
All right, sir. I have 4 mules out and back there. Shotgun is over with Dr. Goodfellow, taking a statement from Unc Toomey. I'll handle Roscoe so that he can't be accused of taking suggestions from Shotgun. That fair enough?
No. I must demand the immediate arraignment of Louis Vanek, the man I brought in.
Well, it's time for that, Lieutenant. Mr. Earp will be allowed to present his case.
Thank you, sir. Now, you'll observe, Judge, there are 2 black mules, a bay and a sorrel. Now, Roscoe, get... Whoa, Roscoe!
Amazing. Why are you so sure that's the mule that kicked him?
Well, I measured his hind shoes. Fits the bruise on Roscoe.
Too bad it's not legal evidence.
Why not?
Well, the mule has no standing in a court of law.
Obviously not. Your Honor, may we get on with the arraignment of that gypsy?
Whoa, Roscoe. Whoa.
Mr. Vanek, you admit that you have no bill of sale for the mule team in your possession when you were arrested by Lieutenant Grange?
I buy mules from my cousin Julio. Among our people, it's insult to ask for a bill of sale.
That's right, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, but the law requires a bill of sale. Lieutenant, the theft of government property is a federal offense. Now, I suggest that you take the defendant to the federal courthouse at Prescott.
No, I'm innocent. I didn't...
Silence. Now, the court orders that...
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes?
This here is Unc Toomey's ledger book. It's got the description of the horses and the mules in the Army consignment.
Marshal Earp, I understand you arrested Mr. Malone and seized his remuda. The court orders that you check this ledger against all animals claimed to be owned by Mr. Malone. Lieutenant?
Sir.
Why weren't the Army animals branded at the time of purchase?
Colonel Hibbett's order, sir. We do not brand remounts until they have passed final inspection at Fort Huachuca.
I go now, please?
No, sir. You stay in jail. Marshal Earp may have recovered the stolen animals, but he hasn't caught one thief.
Well, Roscoe will catch him for you, Judge.
Oh, of course he will. Of course.
What? I'll let Roscoe smell of him, but Roscoe don't think he is with them thieves that run off with the stock.
Roscoe ought to be the Chief John Law in Arizona.
You making small of my mule?
Mr. Gibbs, we're going to have to hit the trail again. You go check and see that we have enough provisions.
Yes, sir, I'll take care of it. Roscoe don't approve of Malone here. Turn up his nose and snort it at him.
Well, I don't...
Mr. Malone. Unc Toomey's ledger here checks against 10 horses and 1 mule you claim to own. Where'd you get them? I'm asking you a question.
Why don't you ask Roscoe where?
Because I'm asking you. Now, sit down. Now, it may surprise you to know that I can hold you and your men as receiving stolen goods on this evidence here.
You gotta prove that we knew they were stolen.
No. Judge Spicer is holding young Vanek because he has no bill of sale. Have you?
Well...
Now, the local juries are prejudiced against horse traders.
Well, hang that gypsy, sure.
Maybe you too.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make a deal.
No deals. But if you supply information leading to the arrest of the thieves, Judge Spicer will take that into account.
All right. I bought the animals from Whitey Jones.
Whitey Jones? Where can I find him?
Search me. All I know is he used to be in the Army.
What's he look like?
Oh, blonde fella, 35, about your size, maybe a little heavier.
How many men with him?
4. Just saddle tramps. They took my money and rode off.
All right, I'll check this out with Lieutenant Grange. Well?
Jones is a common name. There were lots of them nicknamed Whitey, I imagine. He must be using an alias.
You're forgetting something, Lieutenant.
What?
This had to be an inside job at your own post.
Incredible.
A consignment of remounts must be of record at Fort Huachuca. Who buys them?
One of the post sutlers, I think.
A civilian? But you didn't check the settlers, did you? You just rode right off and arrested the first gypsy you could find.
Are you trying to take over Army intelligence? A deputy United States Marshal who gets his information from a mule?
Roscoe found your stolen remounts. Now, I was going to let you and Corporal Higgins return them to the fort and claim full credit. Now, Mr. Gibbs and I'll ride along. You're a greener, Lieutenant. You just may get lost. We found the animals at Skinner Malone's.
Lieutenant Grange says that a gypsy did it. You found the animals at Skinner Malone's camp. Frankly, I don't think that either one of you has nabbed a guilty man.
That's right, sir. We haven't.
I've checked carefully. We have no post settler by the name of Whitey Jones.
Well, a man don't go around stealing horses or using his own name, Colonel.
Do you have a settler nicknamed Whitey?
I'm not that familiar with all the nicknames around here.
Do you mind if we ask around?
Lieutenant Grange has already done that. I might add that I have complete faith in Army intelligence.
You're entitled to your opinion, sir.
We giving up on this, White?
Well, I don't see there's any more to be done, Mr. Gibbs.
Roscoe. Roscoe! Whoa! Oh! Now listen here, you obey the law just like everybody else, you hear?
We'll know that mule tight. He's a killer.
Aren't you Henderson, our remount buyer?
Yes, sir.
Whitey Henderson, isn't it?
None of your business.
He's our man, White.
Give me those cuffs.
Well, now, isn't this a little bit ridiculous? Simply because a mule doesn't like Henderson?
Roscoe hasn't been wrong yet.
Sir, I must change my report.
How's that, Lieutenant?
Henderson's nickname is Whitey, and he's used the alias of Whitey Jones. Correspondence with horse traders. He had it hidden in his closet.
Lock him up in the guardhouse, Lieutenant. We'll deliver him to federal court for trial.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Hey, you know, I almost forgot something.
What's that?
Here, for Roscoe.
Oh, no. We thank you kindly just the same. You know, Roscoe's big-headed enough as it is. Used to make him a deputy marshal, they just wouldn't be no living with him at all, White.
Well, perhaps you're right.
I don't think Roscoe agrees with us.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.